For many people, RV living is a dream come true, a life of never-ending vacations full of sunsets over stunning landscapes, spontaneous adventures, and just the pure joy of the freedom on wheels. Now, social media and YouTube channels show the highlights and the best of it. Camping at the beach, boondocking in the desert, and that dream of waking up to new, breathtaking scenery every day. However, as any seasoned RVer will tell you, the reality is a bit more complicated. So what really is the truth? Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, a lot of these things are true, but there are a lot of things about RV life that are not discussed online or publicly. In fact, it's these very things that led us and many others to come off of the road full time and adopt a new way of RV living, a way that's freed us from some of those darker aspects that full-time RV life can bring. But before I tell you about that, let's just back up a couple of years. So back when I was still a young mom, just in the thick of having 2 preschoolers under 3, I would open up my Instagram feed for that daily escape that I felt like I needed, only to really be met with feelings of longing and comparison and seeing images of people traveling with their families, road schooling their kids, and experiencing the wanderlust of a nomadic lifestyle. And both Ben and I at that time really did long for something more than just what felt like the 9-to-5 grind that we were in life with a young family, and the financial pressures of being a one-income family at that time just kind of felt stifling in a way. And so we wanted more than what we currently were living in, and something that felt more adventurous than changing diapers and planning just what's for dinner. Now enter the prospect of RV living. We became introduced to the concept of full-time RV life through YouTube mainly, and we started watching adventures other families were having on the road. It seems like the life we were living was very different from the lives that these families and couples that we saw on YouTube were living, and so we started to get RV fever. Now, the problem was this. Unlike many that we see, we personally were not at a place where we felt like risking it all to sell our home and trade that equity of our home for a depreciating asset like an RV and a pickup truck. So we knew for us, that meant buying in cash and getting an older RV. And luckily for us, knowing what we know now, that was actually one of the best decisions that we ever made. And if you want to know more about why that ended up being a great decision, well, I'll have a video right up here that you can check out. Now, after finally getting on the road and living the RV travel lifestyle for a few years, we learned something, not only about this lifestyle, but about ourselves. And this is the side that most people don't talk about. And for sure, social media and YouTube is not going to show you. But before I dive into those details, I do want to take a quick minute to share about a great resource we love called RV Destinations Magazine, which is sponsoring this video. And the one thing that you can do to make your journey more enjoyable is knowing where to go next. And that is why I love the RV Destinations Magazine, because it provides some great inspiration and ideas of where to travel. Now that we've been doing this for a while and we've been to all of the lower 48 states, I'm finding that in each issue of RV Destinations, there are some amazing places across the US and Canada that we actually haven't yet visited. And last month, we were able to visit some great destinations in St. Augustine, Florida, all because of learning about them in an issue of RV Destinations. In the most recent edition, there's a great article on Santa Fe, New Mexico that makes me want to go back and visit some of those places that we missed when we were in Santa Fe several years ago. One thing I love about RV Destinations is it does cover a lot of places for RV and camping, from national parks, overnight stops like Harvest Host locations, private campgrounds, and more. And I love the inspiration that we do find for our travels. You can enjoy RV Destinations Magazine in both digital and print formats. I'm kind of old school. I like that print copy, and Ben likes using the e-version on an iPad or e-reader, so we can both do that in the format that we like. For a very limited time, very limited, you can save 30%. This is the largest discount of the year, only happens during this time of year, off of your subscription, because the holidays are approaching and RV Destinations does make a great gift for those family and friends. So you can visit gratefulglamper.com/RV Destinations to save 30%. Just make sure to use the code GRATEFUL30, and that'll all be in the description for you below. And a huge thanks to RV Destinations for their continued support of our channel. Now, here's something to remember. When you're out there RV living, the adventure to daily life ratio is severely small. Most of daily life living in an RV, especially for a family with kids, is just that, daily living life. But compound that with the fact that you're now living daily life in such ways that there are also space constraints that can really test your patience. I mean, imagine squeezing your entire life into a few hundred square feet. Now, while RVs are really designed to try to make the most of the space, it still means getting used to really tight quarters, and living near your partner, kids, or pets can be more of a challenge than an adventure. Trust me, been there and done that. And then even just small disagreements can start to really feel amplified when there's nowhere to just take a break and go retreat. Living in a smaller space also means staying organized, and that's crucial, and it's easier said than done, and that's why we've made so many videos about getting organized in your RV. The next thing about RV life that takes time away from the adventure, unless you choose to look at this as an adventure in and of itself, is the maintenance and repairs that are a constant. Now, RVs are like a home and vehicle combined, which means double the maintenance. Things break a lot. Tires blow out, plumbing leaks, appliances fail, often at the most inconvenient times. And let me tell you, there is nothing like a cold shower when the water heater fails at the most inopportune time. And unlike traditional homeowners, RVers can't just call a regular repair service when something goes wrong. And you often need to fix things yourselves or wait at a repair shop for RVs or try to call a mobile service and hope that they can get to you. It's a constant learning curve. Even if you're super handy, the adventure of constant repairs and maintenance isn't exactly the idyllic adventure that is portrayed online. Now, the next thing that we found that was just shocking for us was really the true cost of the RV travel lifestyle. Now, spoiler alert, it's not cheap. And yes, in some cases, especially if you're not traveling, you can save money compared to a traditional house, but the costs do and can add up. And for those of us who want to travel this beautiful country, you have things like fluctuating fuel prices, campground fees, campground memberships, and remember those repairs we just mentioned? All of those can really drain your bank account super fast. And if you want modern amenities like reliable internet or maybe a national gym membership, well, add those costs on as well. The next thing we found to be very difficult was community on the road. Now, here's the thing. Yes, we have found great travel buddies, and yes, we've had some amazing times connecting with our people on the road. But it's not like you're gonna link arms and travel with the same families to the same places month after month. I mean, we're talking about shorter time frames where maybe for a week or two, you find yourself in the same campground or at the same RV rally with your travel buddies, but the majority of time spent traveling can really feel rather isolating. And this is another reason why we chose to start living RV life in a different way. And I'll share more on that in just a few minutes. Now, the next thing that we've seen some of our fellow RVers struggle with, especially as we're all not getting younger, is healthcare and staying healthy on the road. Now, full-time RVers face unique healthcare challenges. Finding doctors, scheduling regular checkups, or getting prescriptions filled isn't always easy when you're frequently changing locations. And we've been there and done that, and it's not fun if you happen to have a prescription for maybe a medication that's a controlled substance. Things like managing chronic conditions or dealing with medical emergencies become even more stressful. Not exactly the type of adventure that you see on Instagram. Many RVers have to get creative with telehealth appointments or rely on urgent care centers as they travel, and we've used our fair share of urgent care centers as we've traveled on the road too. Now, needless to say, after experiencing what full-time RV life really looks like and seeing the side of how it really feels to be in a nomadic lifestyle, well, we realized we just couldn't do it anymore. And that is why we have now chosen a hybrid travel lifestyle. Now, something interesting started to happen once that we got into this hybrid lifestyle, and that is the last few longer trips that we took, we found ourselves, and our family too, really ready to just go back home sooner than we'd actually planned in some cases. In fact, Ben and I actually made the decision one time to drive through the night from where we were at the time in Ohio to get back to our home base in Florida in one very long travel day, after all of us were just ready to feel settled and grounded again. And since we've been traveling this way, something magical has begun to happen. We really started to realize that adventure can really be found everywhere, and you can find it in your hometown, or you can find it out on the road, or maybe even overseas. But here's a challenge I'm going to propose to you. How can you find adventure right here, right now? Is there a place you could go that you don't usually go? Is there a new restaurant you could try? How about getting adventurous with your morning coffee, or trying something new, or throwing some spice into your relationship with your partner and trying something new and adventurous together? After all, that is what we're looking for when we're traveling. It's that sense of excitement and something new. And here's the kicker. You don't even have to travel to find it. You can really create that anywhere. And you've probably seen that saying that people like to put on t-shirts and tea towels that say adventure awaits. Well, I think it needs one more thing, and that is this. Adventure awaits anywhere, because you don't have to go very far to truly find adventure if you're willing to do or try something different. And since we're talking about trying something different, we will be checking off visiting the state of Alaska next year in 2025 by doing something different, and that is taking a cruise. And here's the best part. We want you to come with us. Yes, this is the official public announcement that you can come cruise to Alaska with us July 27th through August 3rd, but you need to reserve your cabin now as we only have 49 cabins left. And here's the best part. Since we've been planning this for a while, our cruise is at a lower cost than what you can go book on your own right now for that same cabin type, since we reserved early. And the prices are going up due to cruise lines starting to limit the number of cruises to Alaska. So to reserve your cabin, get more details, you can visit gratefulglamper.com/cruise. We'll also have that link below as well. And speaking of trying something different and our little adventure to St. Augustine inspired by RV Destinations magazine, you can check all of that out right up here.